Mangos, 15 years the younger, is the champion. He is 5 centimeters the taller and has 5 centimeters in reach over the challenger. Let's go to Samantha Richards to get this one underway.
Training under UFC vet Damian Brown and coming all the way from Japan with a 10-2 record. Let's welcome out Shoichi Tomita.
You know, Frank Barker, back in September, I was backstage in Tokyo with Damian Brown. We were calling Ryzen. And Damian said to me, Chevello, I've got to tell you a secret. We're booked to fight in November at Hex 33. My boy, Shoichi Tomita, will fight George Mangos. It wasn't public knowledge then. And he said, Chevello, I'm telling you, this guy will beat Mangos, no problem. He is the one to dethrone Mangos. He's the one to beat him. We believe that Mangos is thoroughly beatable, and Shoichi's the guy who's going to do it.
Well, that's wow, huge statement. You know, we've discussed this a couple of times already, Michael, and every time you say those words to me, man, it's impressive to even just hear them, really. It's going to take an absolutely impressive performance to be able to get George Mangos out of there and to take his crown and that featherweight title. But if anyone can do it with the credentials this man has and with an absolute vet in Damian Brown backing that statement, you've got to consider it. And let me tell you, man,
especially with a record of considering Damian's not a guy known for hyperbole.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. You have to consider it. So, and this man has a record of 10-2, so many finishes. He's able to go the distance. I mean, you know, let's see what happens, but man, it's going to take an incredible performance to do it.
All right, Samantha, bring in the champion.
In his second title defense, this undefeated Hex champion is here with purpose. Let's bring back George Mangos.
Frank, you talk about young athletes who are special.
Yeah.
As you said before, people that are marked for greatness.
Yes.
George Mangos, since we saw him for the first time and he's been running through everyone, we marked him as just such a young man.
Absolutely. You know, at 21 years of age, he's just starting his career and so impressive. You know, as an amateur, man, undefeated as an amateur, undefeated as a pro, 11-fight win streak. I mean, look at the current state of MMA in this country. I mean, it's at the peak. It's at the pinnacle right now. And the world is watching. And the UFC is watching very intently. I mean, look how many incredibly impressive athletes we are churning out right through the divisions. We just saw it with Colby Thickness, and we're going to see it again with George Mangos, and we have definitely seen it. And you can see the Lions Den Academy in the background right there. All the boys hugging it out, giving their best before he steps into the cage again as a pro, which seemingly could be his 6th straight victory.
Josh Coolabell, you've seen a lot of George Mangos, and as we said, he really is a special kind of athlete.
He is. He's young, he's hungry, he's got everything it takes to get to the UFC and be a champion. Again, he's with the right team. He's got everything going for him. He just needs to keep his head screwed on, and everything is his, whatever he wants. So very excited to see what potential he lives up to.
First time for Mangos fighting a Japanese opponent. I believe the most experience he's ever given away in his career, Frank.
Yeah, absolutely, without a doubt. I mean, the guy's had 12 fights, and George has only had 5. This is his 6th fight, but man, I talk about quality over quantity, you know. And this kid, although he's only 21, his maturity is off the scales. I mean, he has, every time I hear this guy get interviewed and speak, he's just so mature about his outlook. He's so crystal clear where his path is, and it's golden, Brady, golden.
Never lost as an amateur, never lost as a pro, 11-fight win streak. To introduce both men, once again, the maestro, John Demicoli.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is the Hex 33 co-main event of the evening. This fight is brought to you by Next Generation Concrete Pumping and Combo Structures. 5 by 5 minute rounds in the Hex featherweight division. They will be fighting for the Hex Featherweight Championship. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, this man's a grappler standing 173 centimeters tall with an official weight of 65.8 kilograms. 12 fights, 10 wins with 2 losses. Fighting out of the base training center in Brisbane, Queensland, by way of Osaka, Japan, Shoichi Showtime Tomita. And across the cage is this man's opponent, fighting out of the red corner. This man's an all-rounded fighter standing 178 centimeters tall with an official weight of 66.2 kilograms. Undefeated pro record, 5 fights, 5 wins, currently on an 11-fight win streak, fighting out of Lions Den Academy in Kingsgrove, New South Wales. He is the current reigning and defending Hex Featherweight Champion, George Mangos.
Sit up. Good. Okay, gentlemen, we'll bring through the rules. You need to protect yourselves at all time and obey my commands at all time. Let's have a good, clean fight. Touch gloves if you want. Come out fighting.
The champion Mangos staring through the challenger, Shoichi Tomita. Tomita refusing to lock gaze with the young undefeated champion. Set for 5 rounds of action. Michael Chavello, Josh Kulabau, Frank Barker with you. Southpaw stance on Tomita. Step across outside thigh kicks early from the Japanese challenger. Huge confident grin on his face when John Demacoli introduced Tomita. As always, that poker face, expressionless on Mangos. Tomita maybe hunting for a takedown. They tango towards the wire early.
Yeah, very early exchange there, just testing the waters. You know, George is going to just, you know, get his measure and feel the vibration, and he's going to make the adjustments, and away he'll go.
George looking for a counter left hand off those calf kicks.
Good stop. Time. Hang on. Time. Yeah. Start. So you got a towel there?
Call for time from the referee.
Which one? I'll get it.
Maybe a little Vaseline finding its way into the eye there, Frank.
Yeah, it looks like it. No harm.
Thank you for that. Good. Time in. Fight.
Let's see if Tomita goes back to those calf kicks and those outside thigh kicks. Indeed he does, and George looks to counter off it.
He answered him.
Oh, geez, immediately. George is going in. Oh, look at the intention.
Beautiful knee from Mangos. Tomita shoves him off, creates some distance.
It's powerful. George is very strong. It's got that explosion.
Looks like these two guys are 2 different weight classes.
Looks like it.
Tomita just testing the waters with the young champion.
I love it that George isn't rushing. I love it that he's
Taking his...
Oh, the big kibosh! A walk-off knockout! And he's slid him! He's slid him! He's cut him wide open! It's good night, Frank and Irene! A walk-off head kick knockout!
Wow.
We've never seen anything like it in Hex!
Wow.
He just busted him open with that
Head kick, knockout.
He had him on the heels, Josh. He got him running on his heels, and he was exposed, and he just teed off on him like a baseball bat home run.
A walk-off head kick knockout, the likes of which we've never seen before, and he bled him like a stuck pig.
Unbelievable. Michael Chavello, look at that. This kid is just so talented. We say it every single time. Wow. I'm going to go and have a chat to George Mangos in the book.
Just when we think that Mangos is all about the submissions, he pulls out a highlight reel of head kick knockouts. There's a pool of Tomita's blood on the canvas that tells a story.
Referee had to stop that immediately for sure, because there's no way that George wasn't going to finish that. We just prevented more damage. I mean, that was violent.
The fact that George moved away and knew it was over, give him credit for that. That's class.
100%. Just shows the maturity of George Mangos and where he's headed. Look at this in the replay, Michael Chavello. Watch this. I mean, this is probably the whole fight right here. He starches him, puts him on his heels, sets him up, gets a reaction, peppers him up, bites him off. I think they get back to their feet after this exchange. There it is, inside knee, pushes him off, sets him up,
Yeah, come on.
Boom.
I think he's
Done.
fine.
In one. Look at that. In one.
Walk-off knockout. My goodness. One of the greatest finishing moments in Hex history. A decapitating head kick.
That's his shoes to set.
Oh, John Demicoli, make it all official, Maestro.
Ladies and gentlemen, 1 minute and 28 seconds into the very first round. This fight ended, declaring a winner via head kick knockout, and still the Hex featherweight champion, George Mangos.
Have you ever seen anything like that at 21 years old? Remember the name, George freaking Mangos.
All right, I'm here with your Hex featherweight, two-time defending champion. Man, look at that jewelry. It's spectacular. Look at you. How you feeling, George?
That was amazing.
It was. Dude, I mean, he came in, there was a lot of talk initially that, oh, you know, this guy, we had wind that he had the game plan for you, you know. 10-2, lots of finishes, can go the distance, dangerous, from Japan. You know, these guys are incredible, these athletes. The land of the rising sun, the whole thing. But, man, you just took it in your stride.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's what happens when I train with killers like Marwan, Chris Morris, like these guys, Abraham Lecker's fighting tomorrow night. I got straight killers like strikers pushing me in the gym every day, so that's all what's going to happen. I'm going to level up. Guess I'm no longer just a submission guy. I got a knockout on my record now, first round, head kick, so yeah, I couldn't be happier, Frankie.
Man, you set that up so well too, because there was a few little grappling exchanges. It looked like you were just kind of sorting out which way you wanted to navigate from that point, and then you made him dip with a feint, and you come up and you met him right in the middle. It was beautiful.
Yeah, look, we practiced that. We've seen it in the tapes. He dipped his head, you know, when I was feinting the right hand. So I saw him do it once. I gave him a little nod. I knew what was coming, and I gave him the head kick.
Man, that's inside one round, dude. You just continue to put athletes away inside 2-3 minutes. It's just so spectacular to see. It's wonderful, man. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you're noticing, but in Australian combat sports, we're really making our mark in the world as some of the greatest next generation of athletes coming forward. You saw it with Colby Thickness in the last fight, taking the bantamweight title, and now George has defended this featherweight title 2 times, and now you're 6-0 as a pro. 12-fight winning streak. We know the call is going to come. It's just a matter of when, George.
Yeah, of course, Frankie. You know, only 2 things can come from that head kick knockout. First of all is that knockout of the night bonus, and secondly is my call up to the UFC. I deserve it, I've earned it, I've proven time and time again I'm the #1 featherweight in the country. I mean, I'd love to open up that Sydney card in February, but if not, I'm going to keep putting people away like that until I get the call.
Well, you just answered my next question, so I'm doing my best to keep the conversation running, man. But you know what, dude? We are so stoked for you and your team. The boys down at Lions Den do an incredible job. So many, the next generation is so healthy right now, George. It's people like you, man, that just inspire us to keep going, and all these athletes in our country, man. It's fantastic, dude. We wish you luck. We're super proud, and we can't wait to see what the hell you do next, brother. Put your hands together for 2-time defending champ, your featherweight Hex champion, George Mangos.
He is someone special. George Mangos retains the Hex featherweight strap. Folks, coming up next, our main event for the Hex welterweight championship. Rideout versus Campbell. After the break, you're watching Hex 33.